nice headphones. I like the light at the end of the speaker.
Yes, I think it's for gaming this.
Ah,
It's
right. Yeah, that looks like a gaming thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's pretty
Yeah.
comfortable too.
Yeah, it looks comfortable. Um, I was talking about gaming with my last student in Saudi Arabia. Um,
Um,
yeah, well, he
do you
was
like
into some.
games?
I I did when I was younger, and probably I would find some of them quite entertaining these days. But I don't have like a PlayStation or anything, so um, yeah, the last time I did a game was when I went with my friend to this virtual reality center, and we did some virtual reality games, which was kind of fun. Um, but yeah, that was the topic that I was talking with this guy because he said he likes these warfare games. I think it's called Modern
Hmm.
Warfare or something like that.
Yeah,
Um, and so I was thinking when virtual reality becomes so advanced, maybe with the help of AI or whatever, you have a situation where the graphics and the feelings are so real that
yeah,
I wonder it will be like an ethical problem about like going into a war zone and shooting someone in a game that feels like a real thing because you
hmm,
know I personally don't want to watch someone die. Like I know even if I
yeah,
know it's fake, you don't want to see a real death. That's pretty confronting, I think. And but people want to have real aspects of the game other than that, like picking up a gun and loading it and the
yeah.
feel of the world around you probably. Um, or maybe it will make them not want to play war games. I don't know, but yeah.
No, that's an interesting point that you're making about, people. It is a game, but it is almost so real, and to have someone that appears to enjoy the feeling and
Mm,
the adrenaline of, killing someone, that's
yeah.
crazy, and it's like dangerous to me.
Yeah, it's kind of dangerous if you can see it maybe desensitizes young people to the effects of,
Mm-hmm.
but probably I I would say that, I mean, this is just a guess. I think there's been tests showing that there's not really a correlation between the games necessarily, but it's more like uh, if you spend so long on looking at a screen, where whatever it is, probably your reality is based on some other place that you think exists, but
Mm-hmm.
the real world is out there to explore and enjoy and learn from. But people are disconnected from that real reality. Um, so that would maybe cause some developmental problems socially and psychologically, I think. And thinking that you should only really talk to people or communicate with people through, online stuff. And then so
Mm-hmm.
they lose a lot of that real ability that's needed to communicate, negotiate, and have discussions and stuff, and see how other people are feeling into how they feel. So yeah, I worry that games in general might desensitize people um, to the real problems that exist in the world, or that they can just rely on technology to be the next solution to whatever problem
Mm-hmm.
is existing. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to work because there's a lot of unintended consequences of some
Yeah.
technology that comes out. Like the internet is probably the best example of how it's been great for some people, but it's also this very powerful thing that we didn't really have a chance to run the experiment on, what it would be like 20 or 30 years later. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think we have talked about, communication abilities, because it is so important and it's something that I have some difficulty with it. Meeting new people is challenging for me, but um, I face my fears, but we are living in a delicate moment,
Mhm.
about that we have lost some social, interaction, and also everything seems so, um, has been taken to the extreme. We have seen this in America, in Brazil, in other countries, that people don't know how to communicate, with different people, and we are not able to have, a discourse that I don't agree with you, but we are able to communicate, and to share
Mm,
our opinions. And also, I don't like when people think that we can solve everything through technology. Of course, it
mm,
is a powerful tool, but a lot of events have shown us that we don't know how to manage it. The social companies, for example, social networks companies, they have decided to do something with Trump, like too late when he was finishing his term in the
right.
American presidency,
Yeah.
and it's like there is no time for social experiments, because literally when they are testing a new function in their platforms, that function is already, has been already used in their platform. So what I'm doing with on Instagram, on Facebook, for example, if they are testing a new thing in that platform, I can hurt others, I can spread lies,
Mm,
and it's like there is no time for, oh, this is good or not, because you are testing it with real people.
right. That's true. And their test and their measurement of whether it succeeds or not is not even based on how much well-being we will get out of it. It's like how much time will we spend looking at it, and using it,
Yeah.
because that's the advertising model. And they don't really care that we get addicted to it. It's kind of like, yeah, the whole idea of making money just doesn't go with the ethics of so many things, but we sort of comfortably ignore it, and put it in the
Mm-hmm.
background. Like with you have sporting events where obviously the athletes didn't have anything to do with like eating junk food or alcohol, drinking alcohol when they grew up. And it's okay that like those things are a part of having a good time, but when they're like the main sponsors of some big sporting event
Mm-hmm.
and it's like the only thing that kids see on the TV, it sort of creates this culture of like that's the only thing or the biggest thing that goes with the sport. And yeah, but or gambling, for example,
Mm-hmm.
it might be a huge problem. Like I think it's a pretty big problem here in Australia. Um, but all they need to do is like say gamble responsibly in little letters at the end, or even if they say it at the end, they've just shown this whole ad about how fun and experience it is to put your money on something and win big. So it's sort of at the same time saying we don't want people to have this problem, yet encouraging the behavior that will create that problem. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I think yeah, that's just one example, but yeah, it's we see it all the time, and we don't really realize the consequences weeks or months or years later down the track of always spending all of this time on social media or buying something because we saw it on an app, or even thinking that we need to download this next app, and not realizing how easily it steals our attention, and how much just
Mm-hmm.
having the right attention and focus, that's kind of the thing that would make us feel more happy.
It's interesting that you mentioned ethics and money, because that is something that I wanted to discuss with you, because I've read an article about, Elon Musk. And how do you feel about people that have, genius status in our society, but they also lack a lot of, human values, let's put it
Yes.
that way, because I'm sure, we have seen something about how he treats, his employees, and how his companies that is considered, so advanced in technology, but
Mm,
also like in the human aspect of the company, they treat their workers so bad,
mm.
their rights, etc. And
Maybe
it's
you're
it's
thinking
like,
more about Jeff Bezos than Elon Musk. I think.
yes, correct. You know, This you mentioned Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos. That is also I have watched when he went to the Senate or to the American Congress to talk about his company and how the monopoly, etc. And to me, on my social medias, people talk about him all the time. He's so intelligent and smart, etc. But there, he wasn't able to defend his own company. I mean, he was talking like a person that had no ability,
Was
to
that was
convince
that was
others.
that was that Amazon or Facebook?
Amazon.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that he also went before Congress, and yeah, because Zuckerberg,
Yes.
Facebook was related to the Russia thing.
I
Yeah,
think it was the same week. I think Tim Cook, Mark, and him went to the Congress, and he was the most unprepared between the three, and I was surprised because
yeah.
how a man that everybody or a lot of people consider a model, doesn't know to
I
to
don't.
express himself and to defend his company. I personally I don't like him, and
Yeah,
I don't see him or Elon Musk as a model, but I was surprised.